All you ever wanna do is play. So let's play.
Yeah. Hey, we stay woke, but y'all sleep. Real mode, but y'all sheep. Out in public, she a good girl, but at the crib, she a real freak. New throne for the new king. Same kid, now my streets go. Same gang, got the cheat code. I said stay woke, we in real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode.
I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke,
Yeah,
real
well,
mode.
we can hold the peace or we can wage war, but I'm gonna get what I came for. Real gang, that's a true name. We all graduated to the two-door. Sacred Global, that's an infrastructure. All y'all niggas like the Titanic. I'm the iceberg, talking no Zucker on the front lines, but we don't panic. Shit getting messy, got nothing to rest, and I'm tired of niggas. They front they blessings, they want my suggestion, but don't want the fee. I'm just doing me, I don't answer their questions. All this flexing, got no one to see. All this aggression, I just want some peace. Not even sure that I'd like it in heaven. I guess when we get there, then we gon' see. I do not understand, I do not get what you do. You only got one, like what you act like you got two. Yo, we go bigger than what you are willing to do. I run with king, but you peasants, you run with the goons. Hey, we stay woke, but y'all sleep. Real mode, but y'all sheep. Out in public, she a good girl, but at the crib.
The following program is rated TV MANOC. It contains a big pair of nuts directly on your chin. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised. 15 seconds. We can do it. Hold your breath.
I'm hungry because my blood sugar is going up.
This is like a Jabba the Hutt vibe I'm getting here.
Stop! Stop! You can see the finger marks on my arm.
Go fuck yourself.
Obesity is epidemic in the United States and a major cause of death.
What is fat activism?
I, a fat person, am sharing my own lived experience.
Pizza is a vegetable.
Your fat phobia is your problem.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Radical body positivity.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
This day we fight!
How dare you!
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing. Testicles. Welcome everyone to episode 23 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gamecast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleazecast, and Slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex. We all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, booshes, busters, hustlers, and y'all hoes? It's your boy Papa Swolio back with another episode. And today's episode of the Beastcast is brought to you, is powered, is sponsored by Everest and K2 Flexing on all you bitches.
How dare you!
Oh, Greta, I dare. I certainly dare, and I don't give a fuck about your opinions. Greta, thank you for being here, fam. How are we doing? Today is Sunday. It is Sunday, February the 27th, and we are finishing up on the month of the Feb, and we are getting into Schmarch, and we have one more day left. We have one more day of February, and guess what? Guess what, fam? Tomorrow we have our accountability meeting. Now, I saved this picture because yesterday, obviously, there was a typo. It said Monday, February 28th, but I kind of felt attached to it, so I feel like we'll use the same picture again. So tomorrow, of course, it's the 28th, but tomorrow, the 28th of February, 12 p.m. Eastern Time at noon, we got our live call, so make sure you're there, and I will see you then, or I will hear you then. You can call in. We will also have amazing new releases, so join the fam today, SwoleNormousX.com, to be there for tomorrow's episode. 24 is private for members only. Be there and join the fam today, SwoleNormousX.com, so you don't miss out on the meeting. What's going on? Glowing Artiste, James, British Bear, Amy, Jen is here, Callum. We got a post here from Callum. Hey fam, just cooking some venison steak with sweet potato, tiny bit of Chinese 5 spice on the potatoes. Fuck China, but we can keep their 5 spice.
Come on, man.
Oh, quiet Beijing Biden. Everyone, Callum's using communist spices. So let's have it out on Callum right now.
Fuck yeah!
Communist seasonings. That'd be a good brand, right? That'd be a good brand, communist spice. Well, I hope at least it tastes good. Hope it tastes good. Hope it tastes better than Chinese food. You're always hungry a few hours later. Anyway, what's going on, fam? How are we doing? Muscles Marinara, Pizon. What's up, fam? All right, so today, if you're new to the show, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, leave us a review, all that. Today is Ask Papa Swolio Live, so tons of questions. We're just taking questions today, so you can start right now while we're busting the nut and all that stuff. You can drop your questions in the live chat down below with the hashtag AskPapaSwolio. Of course, we got some from Instagram. And look at, no one's mentioning the beard. No one's mentioning the trim. No one's mentioning the trim. Look at Papa Swolio. I got trimmed up. You can't see the fresh Mama Swolio. She trimmed me up. She got my nice undercut fade, the normal styling. But look, looks good. Looks good, right? Come on. 3 cheers for Mama Swolio. All right, so drop your questions, hashtag AskPapaSwolio, and let's get into today's Mancast. Are you ready, fam? Let's go. Let's summon the Falcon, shall we? Falcon. Nailed it. The voice of an angel. Put some respect on it. Oh yeah. Speaking of communist spice, nothing like following that up with some swole privilege, baby. Hashtag Swole Privilege. Drop that in the comments down below. Hashtag Swole Privilege. We'll give that away to one of you lucky beaches at the end of today's Sleazecast. That being said, we could jump right into taking some questions, so drop it in the comments down below. Hashtag Ask Papa Swolio. Very nice. Very nice.
He's heating up!
All right, we'll take the first question. Let's do it. Let's take the first one from Instagram. If you have questions live, again, check out down below on the bottom scroll. You'll see the Ask Papa Swolio. Use that hashtag. First one's from Handstore N. Papa Swolio. What is the best way to change bad habits?
How dare you?
What is the best way to change bad habits? To set good habits. So there's a great book. I would recommend it. It is called Atomic Habits. Atomic Habits. And one of the principles in that book, if I remember it correctly, and this is just fundamental habit forming. It makes perfect sense, but I would recommend getting that book and reading it cover to cover because it's excellent and lays it all out there for you about habit stacking and how to approach that. But you make your bad habits invisible. So if you have a bad habit and it's always accessible, and you need to make it literally as hard as possible to execute that habit. So for example, if you wake up first thing in the morning and you grab your phone, you need to put your phone, you shouldn't have your phone in your room at all. You shouldn't have any Wi-Fi, you shouldn't have no phone, no screens. So you don't keep it in your room. And some people, maybe you put in your office, you put in a lockbox, you put in a safe, one of those little, so it makes it less convenient for you to go right to your phone in the morning. You make it invisible, make it very hard to achieve, and you replace it with good habits. So you make those good habits very easy to execute on. For example, if you want to start going to the gym first thing in the morning, guess what you have to do? You have to set up your evening properly. You need to have your water ready in the morning. You need to have your gym bag ready or organized, or your clothes, even if you're training in your house, you need to have that accessible. So you wake up, boom, like you almost have to trip over your shit. It's right there for you to get started. If you want to do yoga or meditate, have the mat laid out, have the water bottle ready, have your yoga block ready, have your laptop or your TV ready to stream, a class from Swolenormous X or whatever you're doing. Make sure that you put it somewhere where you can do it first thing. So I would recommend right now, if you're watching live, what are some of the ways that you created a good habit, whether it's working out first thing, whether it's drinking water. For example, if you want to start drinking, I need to drink a big glass of water. Like I said, I drink 2 of these. I drink half a gallon first thing in the morning, like 2 30-ounce. I just, not like straight boom, 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 boom. But within the first, 15, 30 minutes of me being awake, I'm chugging a ton of water. So what do? I have that filled up. So when I wake up, I drink it. I don't have to set this habit. I would fill it up anyway. If I didn't have water in there, I would fill it up. But I make it so I have one less step to do. So you prepare yourself. That's how you should do it. But great book, Atomic Habits. And we have that in the Papa Swolio book club inside Swolenormous X2. So you can check out all the books there. Let's see. Krista Van Hove. What are some movements, Papa Swolio, to strengthen and protect the rotator cuff to prevent re-injury? I tore my rotator back in 2013 and don't ever want to tear it again. Understood. Some good movements. Well, let's see. Yoga's fantastic. Also training your upper body, your shoulders and everything through a full range of motion, doing external rotation, practicing things like floor cobras, let's say standing resisted overhead press, like standing prone press. Essentially, it's not prone, but standing up with resistance, with band resistance. You're doing face pulls. You could do those. If you're doing them properly, you could do, like I said, prone press. You could do YTAs, which is essentially like a physical therapy exercise where you're working your posterior rotator cuff muscles and your middle and lower traps, doing dead hangs, doing scapular depressions. These are all things that we have inside our shoulder awareness program and stuff inside Swolenormous X. So if you're a member, you can go and check that out there for more context, because it's kind of hard to talk through all these things. But you really want to train your shoulder and your shoulder girdle, your shoulder joint and your shoulder girdle through a full range of motion with very light weights. So for example, doing posterior deltoid, you're doing band or cable horizontal extensions. So you're getting that horizontal abduction through a full range of motion going completely across your body. You could do this lying sideways on a bench too. It's fantastic to get the full range of motion. So it's really about focusing on all those different movements for the rotator cuff as well as your shoulder girdle. So the rotator cuff are muscles that attach from the scapula to the humerus, and your shoulder girdle muscles are muscles that attach from the axial skeleton to the scapula. So you want to make sure they're both mobilized and they're both able to work through a full range of motion. So scapular depressions and doing things like floor cobras are great for the middle and lower traps, which help stabilize your shoulder girdle. And then the rotator cuff is what would rotate your shoulder. So you get external rotation, you get, with the supraspinatus, you get some abduction. With the teres minor and the infraspinatus, you get external rotation. The subscapularis, you get internal rotation. So those muscles around your shoulder joint itself, what the rotator cuff does and its purpose is to stabilize the head of the humerus in the shoulder socket, in that glenohumeral joint. So it's meant to keep it on a bullseye. It's meant to keep it stabilized. And if you're internally rotated all the time, you're at a car, you're at a desk, you're rounded forward, your shoulder becomes essentially misaligned and you get a lot more friction. You could have supraspinatus issues. I don't know what you hurt. Which one? Do you know which one you hurt in 2013? But you still want to strengthen all of them. So you could also, I would recommend working on your serratus anterior, which can be done on your back with straight arms. You could just pop forward, just doing protraction. And also you can do this from a push-up position, just dropping your shoulders down, and you'll work those little finger muscles that help stabilize the anterior portion of your shoulder girdle. Muscles marinara. Papa Swolio, Bison. What's your thoughts on blood flow restriction bands? I've seen a few dudes using them, saying they're beneficial. I've never used them. I have personally really no interest in doing blood flow restriction, but I think it can be beneficial. I mean, it doesn't mean that it doesn't, just because I don't do it doesn't mean it doesn't have like a physiological benefit. But are you going to not get big? Or, if you don't like siphon off blood flow, or you have like ischemic pressure, No, you're not gonna. It's not gonna negatively affect your growth. But I think it's good for things like maybe people that don't have as much motion. Maybe they're recovering, doing rehab or therapy. It could be beneficial. But I've seen people do it. It's just not something that I've dipped into. So my thoughts are, yeah, I mean, I can see how that might benefit, but I just don't really have an interest in doing it myself. Have you tried it? Tyler, why do people still eat peanut butter? It's gross and no value. I don't know. It is pretty nasty. Very high in omega-6 and, of course, a lot of hydrogenated oils, especially if you're getting the shitty Jif, Skippy. That's pretty much like eating candy. It's disgusting. And a lot of people have issues with legumes. And yeah, there's much. The problem is people eating foods that just satisfy their taste and these artificial, concoctions that are created in labs in order to get you to keep on eating them. They fill up stomach space and they keep you from, consuming foods that are give you more nutrient density. So don't fill up your stomach with empty, void crap. Eat real food and you'll be satisfied and you won't be hungry anymore. If you're eating really nutritionally void foods, you're going to be very hungry. Why? Because you need nutrition. It's not just the macros. You need the micronutrients. And most foods today, if you're not getting in organ meats and quality proteins, animal sources, you're not going to be getting in the nutrient density and you're going to have a lot of cravings. And there's other factors too. Alex Town, Papa Swolio. Papa. Hello, Papa. I have some pain in my shoulder anytime I'm doing pressing exercises. What can I do to assist with healing or making sure I could do the exercise without the pain? I would do what I told, who posted here? Krista. I would do what I told Krista in terms of your rotator cuff. Probably something similar. You probably have some sort of impingement and it's definitely not good. I would avoid doing anything with a bar, use dumbbells or things like that because you can keep your elbows. You don't want to keep your elbows high. You want to keep them maybe like from like your ribs, maybe like a 45, 60 degrees from your ribs for optimal pressing for the muscle fibers as well. And it'll be less pressure on your shoulder. So I don't know what pressing movements bother you in particular. You also want to make sure you're doing dead hangs and scapular depressions, unless you have any contraindications. Some doctor or physical therapist said, don't avoid these, but just spitballing here because shoulder pain's a vague statement. There's a lot of things that could be causing shoulder pain. There's different types of shoulder and pain. Understand, people, when you talk about pain, it's all how your body perceives it. So it doesn't mean that's exactly where the injury is. A lot of times you have pain referrals. So if you tear your supraspinatus, you might feel pain down the side of your arm. You'll feel like the side of your bicep, like, oh my God, my arm really hurts. And you're massaging down here, but it's really because this muscle's torn, but it's kind of the pain radiates down the nerve. So you get a lot of like distributed pain. So the sensation doesn't necessarily mean that's where the problem is. It's just where you feel it. Indian Ronin, Papa Swolio, your thoughts on including band resistance on body weight movements like push-ups, dips, pull-ups to make the top portion harder? Yeah, sure. It's like chains, only it's progressive. I mean, it's kind of like chains, only it's different. There's like an elastic stretch with a band and chains have the same thing. So for example, if you're doing deadlifts or squats with chains at the bottom, there's less chain on the bar, there's more rolled up on the ground. So as you squat up, for example, if you've seen people squatting with chains at the top of the movement, there's more chain hanging off the ground. So you're doing more weight. So as you get stronger through the movement, when you're strongest, that's why people do that. So it's progressive. So during your strongest range of the motion, you have the most weight. So rather than having just like, let's say 135 pounds on the bar, it's 135 at the bottom, 135 at the top. If you have a chain on it at the bottom, it might be 165 or let's say 150. So it's 15 pounds more because you have the chains on them, period. But then as you squat up, then it's like 185, for example, depending on the weight of the chain. So I think it's fine. That's cool. That's a good way to maximize body weight. So for people that are like, I don't have access to a gym or I don't want to lift weights, I just want to do body weight calisthenics, add some bands like that, do some things like that. You can also do pull-ups like that, have a band around not that you want to put around your neck, but around your waist or on a belt, in between your leg. And then you could do pull-ups. And as you get closer to the pull-up, not that you're strongest at the top, but you're strongest in the mid-range. But as you pull up off the ground, if you have a kettlebell or some attachment or someone holding the band, it'll get harder as you get stronger. Muscles marinara. I got ones for the legs. I feel a good pump, but they're uncomfortable as fuck. Yeah, I'm not interested in the uncomfortable part. I mean, I don't mind discomfort, but your body those blood vessels are there to send blood. I don't need to cut off the blood supply. I'm totally fine. I'm totally fine training the classic way and allowing my body to send blood to the muscles where it wants to go. I don't need to cut it off. For me, it's not worth marginal difference. I really just don't. I'm not interested. I'm not saying they don't work. I'm not saying some people won't swear by it, but like if you train hard enough, it's already uncomfortable. You're already going to make a lot of progress. You've seen so many people get fucking massive and they've never done that before. So it's obviously not necessary, but everyone's looking for some kind of magic pill. Everyone's looking for a little hack or a shortcut or a little thing, but it's the difference is going to be so marginal. I guarantee most people that are using blood flow resistance would see much more progress focusing on the 7 pillars and just training fucking harder or getting more sleep or doing a cold plunge or doing sauna, things that are, going to really affect you. And I just think your time is spent better doing other things. Let's see here. Artemis, good questions, fam. Papa Swolio, what are some good workouts so I'm ready to start biking when the snow melts? Last year, I ended up not biking at all. Some good work? That's a little bit vague. Why don't you get a bike for inside? Why don't you get one of those little tracks? You put your bike on it that spin so you could ride your bike at home. And then biking is a way you're going to get better at biking. I would practice yoga and stuff. Yoga, and you could do all sorts. What are some good workouts? There's 1,000 different workouts. Bands, kettlebells, yoga, body weight. I mean, there's so many things. But have you thought about getting an indoor bike thing where you can bike inside? How do you guys do that, right? You take off the front wheel. There's different ones, right? There's ones where you have the wheels on both ends and you have to stay level, but it's really like you're riding. I don't know. I have no interest riding a bike, really. But I know a lot of people like it. It sounds like you should just be doing it indoors. That way, when you go outside, you're already practicing the same movement. But I really don't like biking from the sense that it really compounds terrible posture. So a lot of people sit around at a desk all day, or they sit around all winter. I'm not saying you do, Artemis, but people sit around. Hip flexors get really short and weak. Hamstrings get really tight. Ankles are really stiff. People are really tight because they're wearing shoes all the time. Their feet are bound. Their ankles are locked in place. And then you get on a bike and you're hunched over, terrible posture. You're just compounding the tightness from all those areas. So you really need to be doing aggressive yoga. I'm just not a fan of the terrible posture required. People are sitting down too much. Sitting down on a bike is really like, I'm not saying it's not a good workout. I'm not saying you can't build muscle, but you have to balance the hell out of that. A lot of people that do spinning all the time inside in these classes just have chronic injuries. Repetitive movement patterns. Let's see. British Bear, Papa Swolio, mainly a question for the mama ladies. The mama ladies. Ooh. Very nice. But how heavy should you lift when pregnant? The good lady is 5 weeks pregnant and is still keen to keep the consistency going. Like I should, I'm just going to refer you to, what her healthcare practitioner recommends. Some people are fine. Some people have different complications where they're like, hey, lower your stress. I'm not going to sit here and be like, go nuts, or I'm not going to tell you to do what sometimes these CrossFit lunatics are like doing snatches and compound movements while pregnant. I think that's stupid and it risks the health of your child. A little bit of an impact can severely damage your baby. I think it's stupid and reckless. But usually, from what I'm aware, and like I said, we have prenatal and postnatal yoga in the yoga studio, which is great. But in general, if you're training regularly, so if a woman is training regularly and she's fit and she's regularly exercising, it's generally totally fine to be training. Of course, you might want to lower the intensity, but to train into your pregnancy, at least through the first and second trimester, depending on the situation. But if you've never worked out before and then you get pregnant and then you start exercising, it's really not good because a lot of stress and taxing on the body, and it's a lot of stimulus and new stimulus, and it can be very shocking and can be detrimental. So if it's already part of your programming, it's already part of your life, then you're continuing, because think about it. By the time you find out you're pregnant, it's a few weeks in, 4, 6 weeks, whatever it is. And you've been training that whole time. You haven't just been sitting around I wonder if I'm going to get pregnant in the near future. So you've already been doing it for a month or two. And then you follow your doctor's recommendations or whatever your birthing plan is, no matter what you're doing. So if it's usually part of your life and you're already used to it, it's kind of like you transition. And then of course, in your third trimester, you're not gonna be out there doing fucking lunge jumps and stuff. You might just be doing whatever you can or minimal, whatever. So usually if it's part of something you're already doing, part of your habit, keep it going. Peas on. Good call, bro. Was just trying new shit. I prefer the old-fashioned way. Mussels marinara. Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's nothing wrong with trying something new, and I appreciate you asking my opinion on it. I really don't have an opinion because I don't do it, but I've had some people ask me. It's like, it comes to a point where, are we just doing a gimmick? Are we just trying something new and like doing something like, hey, people are doing this? People are getting yoked out of their fucking mind for a long time. It's just not something that's going to make or break. Like, oh my God, I'm skinny and I can't gain. But then all of a sudden I started using blood flow restriction. Now I got swole. It's like, not going to happen. Callum L. Papa Swolio, why has the West become full of soy boys offended by everything? Ooh.
Emotional damage.
Why has the West? Well, I think you answered your question in your text because soy is in everything. Soy is in everything. Soy and vegetable oils are killing our country, and sugar and processed sugar. Not to mention the infiltration of Marxism into our education system in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and of course through today. So we've been breeding generations of pussies, and we've had things really good for a really long time. So, what happens is, over time, generations get weaker and softer, and you need some conflict in order to generate. Like you need stress. Think about how you grow muscle. You add stress to the body, and your body will react. If there's no stress, like if I stop exercising, guess what's going to happen to my muscle? It's going to go away. Don't use it, you lose it. So if you don't have anything to do, if it's really fucking easy, if you don't have to really work for it, you can just you're 5 years old and you grow up making YouTube videos your whole life, and you just push buttons on your phone to get food delivered to you, and you just play games on Twitch all day. You're like, you never really did anything hard in your life. And I'm not saying that, like, I'm doing podcasting and things like that, but I've had jobs. I mean, but some people have really physical, laborious jobs, and people have served in wars. And, most people don't realize or what it's like to, let's say, be in a draft. Like, you don't have a choice. Like, go serve your country. It's like, here you go. Here's a gun. You're 18. Bye-bye. It's I can't even imagine that. I can't even imagine just being sent away, like World War I, World War II. You're just like, hey, you're going to go into this fucking hellhole. Have fun. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. So there's a lot of other issues there. It's the food. It's the culture. It's, that's why everything's so fragmented. And social media has amplified it because now you can spread these ridiculous fucking ideologies faster. So the real virus is not COVID. It's social media and all these different ideas that are poisoning people's minds. And they're starting younger and younger. They're trying to take your kids and, when they're 3-4 years old, teaching them, calling them babies and, playing this whole fucking gender confusion. It's child abuse. As always, these are my opinions. And if you don't like it, you can go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself.
It would be my pleasure for you to go fuck yourself if you don't like what I say. And I'm totally fine if you don't like it. There are many other places you could find. There's many other places online where you can be brainwashed. Krista, use that hashtag. Ask Papa Swolio. Let's slap Krista's titties on the live stream. I'm just teasing. Not teasing, but I am teasing. Let's see. Krista, Papa Swolio, I am clueless when it comes to going to the butcher. Want to start incorporating grass-fed beef into my diet. All right. Went to some booze to some cheers. Let's get some beef.
Fuck yeah!
Damn right. Get yourself some good beef. What cut should I get or ask for? Buying and cooking meat for myself is foreign territory for me. Okay, what cut? Well, I mean, it depends on your price range. It depends on what's available. There's many different types. You can get grass-fed beef. You can get ground beef, and that's fantastic. If you like fattier cuts, which I recommend, I love fattier cuts. You get like New York strip, or you get for ribeyes, definitely more expensive. And if you want leaner cuts, for example, like London broiler top round, it's gonna be very, very lean, and you need to be a little bit more cognizant of how you cook it because it's gonna be very tough. So you might want to marinate that or cut it thinner. So it depends on how you're planning on consuming it. Are you a member of the SwoleFam? Because we have thousands of recipes, and we have lots of recipes for beef. So, first off, it depends on what they have. And then, of course, what you're looking to spend, because sometimes ribeyes or New York strip can be 20 plus, usually plenty, let's say 17, 18 with inflation, $90 a pound. No, but like usually anywhere between like 15, 16 to anywhere up to like $30 a pound, depending on where you get it. Or so that can get pricey, but grass-fed ground beef can be $6, $7, $8, depending on where you are. I mean, that's really easy. You can just grind it up. Like you could just, chop it up in like a pan and then just eat it, put a little sea salt on it, some butter, and you're good to go. And, or you can make patties, you can make burgers with it. You can do all sorts of things. So like, do you know what you like to eat in terms of beef? I mean, I'm sure you've had steak before. You've had beef before. Let's see. Oh yeah, Aaron, a study just came out on the reduced bone density of current service members attributed to a childhood spent in a virtual world. No kidding. Yeah, for sure. I mean, the same thing goes with a lot of elderly people that go swimming for all their exercise. And just keep this in mind, fam. Like, there's nothing wrong with swimming. I think it's a great skill to learn. But if you are only doing swimming for your exercise, it's really negatively affecting your bone density, because the buoyancy really takes stress off your bones. So while that might be good in like a rehab setting, or if you're really morbidly obese and you don't want a lot of impact, it's beneficial for movement, but you need resistance training. You need skeletal overload. So just keep that in mind. Same thing, sitting on your ass will negatively affect your bone density, as well as drinking soda, diet soda, crap like that. That leaches like phosphorus from the bones, I believe it is. And also, swimming. So even if you're doing exercise, you think you're doing all this amazing stuff, it's like, well, you need overload. You need to be adding load to your skeleton. Swole Justice Warrior, is the Smith machine good for squat beginners? Depends on how it's executed and depends on the context. I don't think people should be Smith squatting without learning how to do a proper squat first. So my personal opinion, I think my personal take on it, I think Smith machines are better for advanced lifters than beginners. And the reason is because if you opt for a Smith machine, you're going to be working around what could be severe movement compensations that are fundamental. Like if you're fundamentally, let's say you have really locked up ankles, you have terrible knee and hip mobility, you just go in a Smith machine, you're just kind of compounding, you're avoiding, you're detouring, you're getting off the highway, you're not addressing the issue. So if the highway is broken, let's say whatever major highway, 95, let's say on the East Coast, there's just like the road is split. Everyone's going to get off the exit. It's like, hey, the bridge collapsed. You're going to have to get off the exit. Well, you're going to fix the bridge, aren't you? No, we're just going to get off the exit and kind of go the long way around forever and just leave that there. It's not going to work long term, right? You're going to have a lot of traffic, a lot of accidents. It's going to be backed up. The whole highway, it'll destroy everything. You have to fix it. So I think you should be learning how to squat properly. You should be activating your anterior tibialis, lengthening your calves, practicing yoga, getting that knee and hip mobility. So I don't think there's anything wrong with the Smith machine. I think it can be used as a tool, but I don't think it should be the primary. So in terms for squat beginners, a beginner should be getting good tutelage and information and learning how to squat properly, in my opinion. So this is really not a question about the Smith machine being good or bad. It's a tool like everything else. And there's certain tools, like if you're a mechanic or you have duct tape in your house and you have a flathead and you have a Phillips head and you have a wrench, like you have certain tools. Some of them you might use more often and some of them you have, but you don't really use it that often. But if you need it, it's there. So the Smith machine, hey, let's say all the squat racks are taken and you want to do, I don't know, whatever exercise it is, like, oh, I guess I'll use a Smith machine. And then you can use that, or you feel like hitting a certain angle because with a Smith machine, it's on a track. So you can lean a different way and maybe hit the muscles in an angle that you can't normally do because you don't have the stability, or you want to focus more on just force production rather than stabilizing. So it could be a lot safer in some ways for, let's say, loading up a weight and doing like, I don't know, whatever, certain movements. There's so many different things you can do with it. But I personally wouldn't recommend it from the start because then you're not necessarily learning the good habits and activating the right muscles. Good questions. We got a good ass Papa Swolio live this week. Sometimes it blows. It's always fun, but sometimes we get shit questions. Sometimes we get really shitty questions. But today is good. Today is good. All right, let's see. Yeah. What's the next question here? Let me see the next question. British Burr. British Bear. Papa Swolio, how did you and Mama Swolio move the deep freezer without defrosting everything when you moved last year? Should be moving the next couple of months, but I refuse to eat it all and start again. Oh, God. Well, here's the thing. We got the deep freezer once we moved here. So that solved that. So I didn't have to do that. So we didn't move the deep freezer. That's a really good question. Where are you moving? I mean, there's different strategies. You just get coolers or get those, you can get those plastic. I mean, how far are you moving? So here's what I would do. Okay, let's say I had the deep freezer at the apartment before we moved into the house. Depending on how far it is, this is what I would do. I would get those, either buy coolers, because you could buy a ton of coolers from Walmart, and guess what? Use them. Just don't scratch the fuck up out of them. Moving can be messy, and then you can just return them. You can get those like styrofoam coolers, or you can get those little freezer bags and just fill them up with ice and then just transport them. Boom. So it depends on, or you leave it all in there, unplug it, load it up into the truck, but you're gonna have to move it with all that stuff in there and then drive it there and then plug it right back in. So, it depends on where you're going from. Like if you could just load the fridge into like a truck and then you're driving it and then plug it back in, it'll probably, 45 minutes to an hour. Is it a vertical one or is it a horizontal like chest freezer? So if it's 45 minutes to an hour away, you could just probably, depends on how it'd be to move it or to load it up. It'd be really heavy, but you could probably just leave it in there or just unload it, put the other stuff in bags. Because the thing is, if you put it in dry ice and you put it in other packs, you still can't, they have to stay in there until you have that plugged in. So you just have to do it at the right time. It's a good question. I think it's just the timing, like how you're able to execute it. But those are a couple options there. 45 minutes to an hour is not bad. If you're moving a long distance, it'd be like shit. Like if you're moving a long distance, yeah, that would be rough. Let's see. Was thinking of leaving it all in maybe and hench up. What's hench? Maybe that's just a typo. Yeah, you might just want to. Like I said, it just might be the moving it out because you have a freezer that's already a couple 100 pounds and you have like, 200 pounds of meat in there or whatever it is. Long distance for the UK standards. Yeah. So 45 minutes, that's what we are. I'm like 30 minutes away from where I was, but we didn't have the deep freezer. So we got here and then got the freezer. So that was easy. And then had to the problem was ordering all the beef over the course of like a few months. Derek, is your Facebook page messed up? I don't know. Maybe, probably. Goddamn Mark. Who knows? Maybe. I saw Facebook comments earlier. It seems like they stopped after the beginning of the podcast. I don't know. Maybe. What else is new? Something's always going to be messed up with the daily. Something's always going to be messed up. You know why? Because if I'm not getting throttled from Comcast or YouTube or Facebook, I don't know. Someone's always trying to fuck my ass. Someone's always trying to put it
Chicks will dig you. Or dudes or whatever gender thing you're into.
I don't know. It was weird. I saw a couple of Facebook comments earlier. Did it just stop streaming? Whatever. Did I say something? What'd I say? I probably said some keyword, blocked me. People get blocked on the Facebook page just for saying LOL. A lot of members have said they got banned for 24 hours because they put like LMAO or SwoleFam. Hashtag SwoleFam. You've been blocked. So I probably have something hardcore. It says you're live, but says there's an error. So it's obviously on their end because we're still on YouTube. So fuck Facebook. Why are any of you watching on Facebook? Watch on YouTube. Watch on YouTube. Or you could watch on Rumble or Odyssey. I don't see the comments on Odyssey because I don't know how many people watch live. If they are commenting, I don't see it right now. But you can watch on Odyssey also. I'm on Rumble. Just so you all know, we stream on all that. You can if you go to thedailyswole.com, you can find the other links, but most of the people watch on YouTube. Stay out of my fucking, is it Fauci again? Is it Fauci? Is it Fauci?
Come on. Attacks on me, quite frankly, are attacks on science.
You switch the samples.
God damn it. Stay out of my holes. Can this man stay out of my fucking holes? Jesus Christ. All right, I saw a question earlier. I'm trying to find it because we had some other things. Let's see. Muscles Marinara. Pizon. I'm just going to say Pizon, even though you don't say it. Are you going to be doing any more Red, White, and Swole pods? I binged a shitload yesterday and they were fantastic. Really? Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Good old America. Thank you. I will be honest. I kind of do. So I've played around with different things. So I stopped doing the videos. So the Papa Swolio channel on, I bring that comment back up. The Papa Swolio channel on YouTube, I stopped doing it just because it got throttled really hard. And honestly, it was really hard to keep up with it because there was a period, like I get really excited to create these other different podcasts. Like we had the Swolenormous audio experience. We have Swolenormous Procast and Red, White, and Swole. It was too much. It was really too much. I love the branding. I love talking about those things, but it's too much. So I wanted to focus all my attention on the Daily Swole, which is why today we talk about, the Red, White, and Swole Q&A as we take questions. And during the podcast, we talk a lot about current events. Like it's more open. We talk about all sorts of things. But every time I so I stopped doing the videos for it because I kind of figured it wasn't really worthwhile. And plus the last thing I need is to get that channel banned and then it ricochets over into the other channels because, Google, YouTube, same thing. They know that they're all the same owner. So it's not like, oh, it's a different channel. If they block that one, they're not going to know the other ones. They're all connected. So it was just like not worth putting it out there. There's so many people that do it on YouTube and it's just, so you have to, tiptoe on thin ice so much on YouTube. So you making the video wasn't making as much sense. And plus covering a lot of the different topics, a lot of it is really negative, obviously. A lot of it's really negative. And I catch myself. And the reason why I think I stop, because I keep addressing this to myself. Like, why am I not keeping up with it? Because I'm very consistent with the Daily Swole, obviously. And that's my priority. But every time I kept on doing the other Red, White, and Swole, it's like, do I want to keep on putting out, everything is just, it's negative. It's always just shit. So I just kind of felt like my mood getting affected, covering that kind of content on a regular basis. So like in 2020, when I was doing it, I stopped like a little bit after, I think, the election or something. It was just, I just couldn't, it was just too much. It was just too much, and pulled away from it, started doing some small little, little videos here and there, or little audio clips, but I'm open to doing it. I really appreciate you liking it. And I might do it again. But I'm still trying to find the best pace. I'm still trying to find the best pace and the best flow for it. But again, like Pedro was saying, that's why we have the Red, White, and Swole Telegram chat. So for members, we have the Telegram chat. That way, for anyone that wants to talk about politics and current events and social issues, you can go to that Telegram chat and converse as much as you want. So, maybe we'll figure it out. Maybe I'll find a different flow. But for me, doing even something like once a week, it just doesn't have that. I'm not a once a week kind of guy. I'm not a once a week. Obviously, if it's not daily and I find myself, no matter what I add or what I want to do, I tend to want to do it every day. I tend to need to not like a compulsion, but it's like, I'm filming, I'm doing stuff like every day. And it just got to be a bunch. So I might, every time someone says like, hey, I missed the Red, White, and Swole, it's like, yeah, I'm open to doing it. Because we talk about a lot of those issues here on the podcast too. I also thought about combining it with the podcast here with the Daily Swole, but we kind of have those sections when we bring it up on the podcast. So I'm really glad that we get to talk about it on the show too. So I might bring it back. I might do some episodes. Yeah, I might do some episodes. I just noticed that I fall out of doing it consistently for some reason. I'm still trying to find the reason for that. And I think it's because a lot of the shit, like the topics, would be like, the war, and then this, and then inflation. It just, even if it's just like one video or one content, it just seems like it's always just fucking shit. It's just always shit. Let's see here. Dun, 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 dun. What we got here? Let's see. Krista. What are your thoughts on deep tissue massage? Does it really improve and assist with muscle recovery? Oh, I love it. Massage is great. Foam rolling is great. Sauna, cold plunge, all those things, they're fantastic. So massage is excellent. It's even better than doing foam rolling, because foam rolling, you have to do it yourself. Massage, you can just let someone, you lay there, it's passive, and you let someone else do it for you. It's great. I like it. Tyler, the Swolenormous website looks a little different. I'm trying to find the Swole Motion, but I couldn't. You log in, go to Swole TV, and then it's in the Swole Motion section. What do you mean, the Swole Motion? I mean, the Swole Motion section with all the vlogs is right there in Swole TV. Nothing's changed. Has it? I don't think anything's changed. Bring Eli back. See, look, I would love to. I was doing Eli. I had to make so many videos private. All those Eli videos were made private. I erased all of them, or most, like, there were so many, because I didn't want it to negatively affect the channel moving forward. Like, oh, those things probably shut my channel down. Fucking Eli. Maybe. Eli. Maybe. See, I don't even know where to do content like that anymore. Like, where am I going to post it? Just Eli doing the news on Rumble or something like that. It's just with all the stuff that I want to create, there's too many ideas. And that's the thing. It's really hard. I have so many ideas, and there's so many of these great videos I want to do, but then it's like, on top of everything else, most people don't make when I say most people don't make content every day, a lot of people do, like, they do content every day. Very few people make content every day. And of course, we're live streaming every day. For an hour plus, doing TikToks and Instagram, multiple channels on Instagram, TikTok, multiple channels on TikTok, YouTube. We got a few channels and shorts and reels and all those different things. And then there's Rumble and Odyssey. And then there's, the podcast and the audio. And then there's, of course, Swolenormous X and all the classes and trainings. And there's a lot. So one of the main things to take from what I'm saying, not complaining, a lot of this was my own creation. So it's like, I have these ideas and want to do it, but then sometimes you have to cut some things off. You have to let some fires burn. You can't do everything. And the problem is, if I'm doing all that stuff, I burn myself out, and then things like the podcast will suffer, or other types of content will suffer. So I'm thinking about this long term. I'm thinking 50 years in advance. A lot of people think a couple years. I'm just thinking conceptually 50 years. I need to create content and do the shows and do all this stuff in a way that I can keep a pace for decades and decades. So it's a whole different perspective on how to create content. It's not like, oh, well, I'm not thinking short term. I'm thinking, what can I maintain for like the rest of my life? So still trying to figure out the flow there. But I'm excited. I like the idea. I think I need to make some videos I need to make some more of the Red, White, and Swole. And you could drop in the comments, like, what are the things that you all want to see more of? And that's, of course, that's absolutely right. I'm going to take some more comments. What do you guys like more? You want more Red, White, and Swole? You want more? I see people chanting Eli. Some people, it's like the OGs that know what Eli is. So many people have no idea, like, who? What? Callum, can you hide quickly? My fiance is coming home and you'll make her leave me. # bald bastard. Bald lives matter.
Because stickers?
All right.
Hadouken! Hadouken! Shoryuken!
Is this a list of things I did to your mom last night?
Not going anywhere. Let's see. Post Eli on Rumble. Possible. Well, here's the thing, Josh. We're going to be posting a lot of the videos and stuff. A lot of the Swolenormous content doesn't automatically port over to Rumble. It does on Odyssey. So the Swolenormous channel on Odyssey automatically syncs up. So a lot of the videos, like the new ones that I've been doing, the Brittany Dawn one, and some of the new ones need to get posted manually over on Rumble. So again, you see what I'm saying? Another place to post content, So when you're adding another task, it needs to fit, needs to make sense, needs to be something to execute. Pedro, maybe put it in Papa's uncensored stuff for the Swole X channel. Oh yeah. Well, that's why Swole TV, that's why Drive While Gaining's in there. Like, I'm totally fine posting, like, what we're going to be doing, like a lot of the content, maybe like Eli and other stuff. We'll have previews on other channels. Like, we'll have previews on YouTube and previews on Rumble and stuff. Like, you want to see more, get the full thing, join the fam. It's inside Swole TV. Because honestly, we talked about this sometimes in the chat. it's like with all the censorship going on, the creativity is definitely miffed. It's like, because when you make some of these videos, when you make something that you're passionate about, and I'm fucking raging and it's driving while gaining, or it's Eli, it takes a lot of energy. And it's just, I'm putting out to platforms that don't appreciate it. It's getting censored. It's going to get no distribution. It's like, well, fuck you. Like, I'm not going to do it, or I'll do it for members. So that kind of thing. Pedro, can you see the Rumble chats on your end? I don't. I thought Rumble doesn't have live chat. I don't have any of that open. So if you're chatting on Rumble, I don't see it. Or Odyssey, I'm not looking at it right now. I don't know if people do. So that might be a thing I should look into, but I don't know if people are commenting. I've never watched on Rumble, so I don't even know what it looks like. I just stream there. So I'm a reckless streamer. I just blast. I'm just literally spreading my seed to all these platforms like, there you go. Take it. You can haze. But if people are chatting on Rumble, if it's live and I can see it, I just don't know if I could see Rumble chat. I thought you couldn't, or maybe they updated it. British Bear, any news on international Swole text? Oh, no, you can't do that. It's only US and Canada. Because SMS texting, I don't think you could even, international text that would probably be the most inconsistent thing ever. How useful would it be for us No, in terms of if you are from another country, make sure you join the Telegram alert channel. It's right there pinned to the top. I keep on sending it out to people, but I don't know if people understand really how to use Telegram, but there's an alert channel. There's an alert channel. Like on Telegram, you'll get your alerts. I send out an alert on Discord, but if you have your alerts off, you're not going to get it. So I send out a blast on Discord and Telegram, and also Swole Tech. So if you're international, turn on your alerts and join the Daily Swole alert channel. It's pinned in the top of the Telegram chat, the SwoleFam Telegram chat. So if you join that, you'll get alerted through Telegram for international. Davey, do you know about Zion platform that JP Spear? Who's that? I've never heard of it. No, I don't know about that. There's so many platforms. There's a lot of them. I've never heard of Zion. Trust me, there's going to be a lot. Things are going to get more and more decentralized, and it's going to be like, there's going to be hundreds of platforms, and I think people are going to get really distributed. John Roach 21, do you ever miss playing baseball? Surprisingly, not really. I think I just played so much, I kind of like got it out of my system. I mean, if I miss playing, it'd just be like, oh, I remember the camaraderie. Like, I had fun. But I played so much baseball. I just don't really. I love fitness so much and training that I think I just kind of played baseball far past when I burnt out. And then to the point where I stopped, it was like, yeah. Because I stopped playing. I chose to stop playing. It wasn't like I finished out my college career and, now I have to go on to some real things. I stopped because I love fitness so much. It was interfering. I love training and lifting so much that baseball was interfering with my lifting. So I stopped playing baseball. It was a choice. And who the hell is Eli? What? What did you say? It's my fault that you don't know who Eli is. Talk about the perfect time for it. Eli would be banned. Eli would be like, he's a right wing, a white supremacist, which he's not. He's just American. Eli is America. If America was a person, it'd be Eli. I seem to have issues with Telegram sometimes. Maybe it's my old phone. Maybe. Have you updated the app? Yeah, an old phone would do it if it's not maybe able to update or slows it down. Who's Eli? Bring back Eli. Well. Or is Red, White, because Red, White, and Swole, I think was originally Eli, I think, and then I made it the podcast. Or should Eli be doing, that'd be really annoying. I can't talk serious. I can't do serious stuff. Eli can't do serious commentary. Should that be the news? It'd just be Eli reporting. Eli should just do tabloid shit. Should just be like, talk about J-Lo's new like ass injection or something like that. Just do like slum tabloid shit. Just pure ad hominem attacks. Look at this person's face. Cerny on Discord, Cerny. You don't like YouTube? Or are you banned from YouTube still? I forgot about that. Yesterday was fairly serious. Fairly serious about what? What was yesterday? I don't even remember yesterday. I don't remember yesterday. I don't. How are the butterflies doing? Any new ones today? Good question. They're doing fantastic. So we have 4 sections for butterfly plants. Probably going to pick some more up this week. They're great. We had the gold rim swallowtail. So we found eggs. I found eggs for the gold rim swallowtail and the giant swallowtail. So we have eggs pretty much. Saw all of them. The sulfur. We have pretty much every single kind. I shouldn't say every single kind, but we have all the ones that you're really able to get, like the most common ones. There's always more obscure butterflies, but some of those are really hard, especially if you don't have containment. So if you have like an internal garden, of course, you can have certain plants and then, bring in pupas. You could bring in different types of butterflies if you have an enclosure, but then you have to maintain that. And I guess if you have a porch or a big outdoor area you want to build, but I just want it to be like nature. So we have all these different areas around the yard, and then we have like a lot of crossover, and they're all flying across and moving around. So you're outside lifting or walking around, there's just butterflies crossing over and moving around. Kind of sad. I have a monarch with like a broken wing. I guess it hatched and it wasn't kind of like a dud. So I was just kind of crawling around, can't fly. So I kind of pick it up and hold it, and then it falls off. So it's not going to last too long. But yeah, good shit. Eli Gate. Let's see. Nick, Papa Swole, you know what's funny, Papa? You can get banned for calling someone a soy boy on Facebook and YouTube, but it's acceptable to call someone a Nazi or a white supremacist. I know you don't mean it's actually funny because it really isn't, but yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So it's not even. That's the problem. People get pissed off when things aren't fair. Understand that it's about fairness, right? That's why people are upset when you have men competing in women's sports, because it's not fair. I'm totally fine. Most people are totally fine with one person winning because they worked harder. They're maybe genetically more gifted. It is what it is. LeBron James is amazing at basketball. I'm not going to be ever as good as him because I don't put in the work. I'm not 6'8" or whatever it is. And it's not my thing. So if you have an uneven playing field, then people are going to get resentful, and it's a lot fucking essentially hypocrisy. So if I call someone a soy boy, right? Like those clips, those ones that are allowed for the most part on Instagram, even though I'm shadow banned on Instagram, if I post those on TikTok, they get blocked immediately. The ones where I'm like, the little mashups, those get blocked immediately on TikTok. I was posting them on the Swolenormous page, and every time one went viral, it got banned. If TikTok allowed me to post those videos on TikTok, fam, if TikTok allowed me to post those, I'd have like 10 million followers already on TikTok if they allowed me to post those videos, but they block every fucking thing. So I had to stop posting them. So it's not fair. If I call someone a soy boy, which is true, and it's not really an insult, but why are they taking it like an insult? Because it's fucking true. And then if they say, Nazi and white supremacy doesn't have any meaning anymore. It's been bastardized. It's just been overused, and it's unfortunate because those are very, very, very severe, catastrophic things to say about someone. But now it's like saying, I don't like you. You're a Nazi. It's like, you're a fucking idiot and you don't know your history. So it's not fair, which is why people are getting pissed. And if it was fair, I don't think anything. I'm against any kind of hate speech. When I say against it, I think everything should be open. I think you should be able to say any word. You could say the N word, the P word, the L word. I'm just making up words, but you should be able to say anything. If people don't like seeing it, then they can either tweak their filters manually so they don't see those words. Like maybe you can have a button like, hey, turn off commonly hateful speech. And like, okay, I'll choose to, or you can have that automatically on. You can turn it off, because hate speech is really, who's determining what hate speech is? Who determines what you can and can't say? That's the problem. If you have any kind of restrictions like that, who's in charge of that? Who is in charge of that? So who determines what I can say? So I can't say soy boy, or I can't make fun of something, but someone else can say all sorts of shit about me. How is that fair? It's not. Say ankle because that's 3 feet below a cunt. Heyo. One of my favorite words. Cunt is a great word. Cunt's a great word. Underused. Not in Australia, but it's underused everywhere else. It's a great word. What? Did you see the male swimmer with the 12-inch cock win the female swimming? Did the swimmer actually have a 12-inch cock? I saw the male swimmer. I didn't check the cock size. I didn't check that out. But I'm glad that you were looking closely. Wax, for April Fool's Day, can you wear a blue wig and fake septum piercing? I might. You know what? Maybe I should do that. Should I do that for all the videos? Should I just start put a blue wig and then say things and see if I get banned? I'd probably get banned right away. I have my pronouns in the Swolenormous bio on TikTok, he Swole. I also have the pronoun feature on the Daily Swole Instagram. I just clicked 4 random ones. They're like, choose these. So you know what's fucking crazy about the pronouns? Is that I have to choose, like, if you want to use them, you have to choose from a list of the ones that they approve. It's like, whoa, while we're making shit up, seriously, while we're just making up things to make ourselves feel more important, why are those things okay? And I can't put he swole. I can't have it in that pronoun section. I have to write it in the bio. I can't choose it. Like, I can't customize it. So it's only the ones that you want me to use. Okay, you can go fuck yourself. Yeah, twunt is great. It's one of my favorites. I love twunt. Callum, I love how the septum piercing is universally known as a fucking moron. I mean, because most of the people that have them are morons. Or most of the morons use it or have it. Because they're desperate for attention. They have to put a fucking bolt through their nose to get people to look at them. And it's still hard. Yeah, should I paint my nails too? I can do the blue hair, septum piercing, and paint my nails. I'll do it. I'll fucking do it. I'll fucking do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. It's done. It's done. See, what would I do with Eli? What would I do with Eli? What would I do with Eli? Like, where the fuck is that content gonna go? It's gonna have to go on like Rumble and Gab. Like, where would that go? How quickly would that content get banned? I was doing Eli in 2016, 2017. We've kind of peppered some through. That wouldn't even survive today. Fucking Eli. I love it. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what content I would do. It depends on where it. Yeah, maybe that only gets posted on. Maybe that only gets posted on. I don't know. Again, it's just like. Then there's those videos and those videos. There's just so much to do. So it gets too much too quick. I don't like to do things randomly. I really don't. I don't like random things. I like to be consistent with what I do. As you know, right? Pillar number 7 is consistency. So I think this is really like whatever I do, I'm consistent with it. So if I add something to the routine, it has to be able to be executed consistently. And some of these things are just a lot to set up or a lot to do. And it takes away from other things. So depends. Oh, Elijah, do the tyrannical tuck with rainbow hair and a fake septum piercing anytime you want to get controversial. I'm not against it.
There's tiny tuck, typical tuck, total tuck, and the tyrannical tuck.
To mock others. Well, I don't need. Wait, was that mock others? Oh, like wear the wig and the look. See, I don't need the wig and the septum piercing to mock others. I'll do it now. I'll do it right here. I don't need to wear. I don't need a fake septum piercing. I'll mock someone. I'm totally fine I'm totally fine doing that without a disguise. That's pretty funny though. That's pretty funny. I might do it. All right. Any other questions? We got a lot good live questions. We had a lot of good questions. Then we kind of started trailing, but yeah, I mean, I do love the Eli content. If you're listening and you don't know what Eli is, you could try to search for it. I'm not sure what you'll find, but I do love the old Eli content, Red, White, and Swole. Maybe we can get back just into like the Red, White, and Swole podcast action. And again, of course, you know, with all that stuff, it's just my opinions. And, you know, a lot of these international conflicts and socialists, all of them are very complicated. It's very hard to know every aspect and every angle of every story. So, you know, as always my opinion and just some thoughts. So make sure you listen to a lot of voices and a lot of people from different perspectives and formulate your own opinion. Don't just, you know, let someone tell you this is what you should think or just echo what you want to hear. But a lot of it just needs to be, you know, common sense and logic. So it's just my way of sharing. Okay, I have my antennas up and I'm picking up on all this different content. Here's how I perceive it. And here are my thoughts so far moving forward. So I think that's a good way to start. I've been a beach. Can you mock me too, Papa? Lady Justice, it would be my pleasure. It'd be my pleasure to...
Great Scott!
My pleasure to mock you.
Greg. Could you milk me?
It'd be my pleasure to mock you. I'll tell you what.
I fart in your general direction!
How about that? I have nips, Papa. Can you mock me? That's a good one. That'd be a good one. Let's see. Bring back Joey Bag of Donuts coming out of the woodwork. Bring back Red, White. Is that the first start? Is that the first one? Look, we can start there. We can start small. And then Eli would hand Fauci and Biden their clay. Should we bring back Red, White, and Swole? Is that the thing? Is that what we got? Okay, let's say this right now while we're here. Actually, do I have that? I think I still have those pictures. Maybe. Make sure that, let's do this. All right, let's fucking do this. You want the Red, White, and Swole podcast? You want that? I'm fine talking about these things here, but also having the Red, White, and Swole podcast is... Did I get rid of that picture? All right, so let me zoom in on that. I'll zoom in on that one. Let me see here. The other shows. All right, so... Oh, Jesus Christ. Bring back Red, White, and Swole. So let's do this. Right here, if you don't know, you can check out the Red, White, and Swole Mancast. I know it hasn't been posted on in a while, but maybe I'll bring it back and I'll talk about it. So I think also, you know, those of you in the SwoleFam that are in the Red, White, and Swole Telegram chat, you can share articles and share topics and share stories and then can pull from that. And it can be other parts of the conversation for the show. And this is kind of like what we're doing towards... In the few times that I did it, we have the conversation going on and then new episodes coming out. So if you want to talk about politics, social issues, you can go in the Red, White, and Swole chat and join the fam inside Swolenormous X. And of course, if we bring back the Red, White, and Swole, then we can have that conversation further. And the Procast. Yeah, there's too much. You see, the Procast it's too much. So I was thinking about all combining it onto the Daily Swole podcast and just posting it on the Red. That's the thing. I was thinking about commenting or just posting it all in the same Daily Swole podcast, but I like keeping it separate. But I kind of want it to be the same. It would just be like on the one spot where you go and get everything. But you know, some people that listen to the Daily Swole podcast might not want to hear Red, White, and Swole content, even though a lot of you listen to both. Not everyone wants to, you know, think about that stuff all the time. So I like to try to keep it a little bit separate. That way I can go hard on that one, hard on this, and you know,
he's on fire.
Always go deep. By the way, before we wrap up, we're about to wrap up. Hashtag Swole Privilege for a chance to win today's Swole card. We haven't done that yet. We haven't given it away yet. But just make sure. All right, so it seems like everyone's like, bring back Red, White, and Swole. All right, so make sure, how about this? So make sure right now, if you haven't, if you enjoy that content, you want me to start getting into some more, you know, trending topics and things like that from a more serious standpoint, make sure you go and subscribe. Spotify, everywhere this podcast is, everywhere you subscribe, type in Red, White, and Swole, or just type in Swolenormous and all the podcasts will come up. So make sure you subscribe to the Red, White, and Swole podcast. And that way you can get the audio. It's just going to be audio, no video. We don't need it, just audio and thoughts on current events. So make sure you go and check that out and go subscribe. So when the next episode comes out, then you will see it pop up. So go subscribe and follow. Let's see. Joey Bag of Donuts. Did you hear the new Rogan talking about how grass-fed beef isn't much more nutritious than regular beef? Well, yeah, we talked about that before. It's not. Like if you look at just like the macros or the the nutrients, it's not necessarily that different, but there's also the other side effects of eating a sick animal. So personally, I don't want any of the, the body's or the cow's natural, hormone imbalances, like when they're in a stressful situation. Those are things. There are a lot of things in foods, and we can have this conversation. I'm not saying I have like double blind, triple blind fucking studies. Speaking of which, a lot of people don't.
Attacks on me, quite frankly, are attacks on science.
Because the narrative is what matters, not the actual, like you can't use common sense, So if you don't have 2 PhDs and you're not bought out by big pharma or big food, you can't have an opinion on this. So I have a brain. I can think for myself. I'm a human being. I will voice my opinions. So there's a lot of other things you can't measure. Like there's so many millions of processes in the human body, and there's a lot of things that we don't know that we can't actually quantify what might be good or bad. I know the taste is much different. I know I had a lot of problems with low quality chicken, low quality beef. So I know from personal experience the physical health differences. And I don't care if it's necessarily just hormone free or, I don't care if it has the same amount of protein in it. I don't care if it has the same amount of omega-3. I don't care if it has literally all the same. One is from a sick animal and one is from a healthier animal, straight up. So I'm always going to opt for grass-fed beef, also from personal experience. But there's a lot of other elements, and it could just be, how they're fed, what's put on the grain. So if you're eating grain and corn and soy and barley, whatever it is, that's sprayed with glyphosate that has other toxins or genetically modified. The cows are eating it. You're telling me that's not getting, of course it's getting in the body. Of course it's going to play an effect. And it might not be like I eat it and oh my God, I'm dying all of a sudden. But these things that build up in an animal's body will build up in our bodies because we're animals. And over time, we have health problems in the future. So I would want to eat a healthy animal, and I would recommend everyone eat a healthy animal. I don't care if the macros are the same or the nutrients are the same. Lady Justice, you could do a red, white, and swole on a weekly basis or monthly. It's up to you. Yeah, but for me, that's what I was saying before. It just doesn't work that way. When I think, I'll do it once a week, it tends to not happen, which is why it hasn't happened. So I thought about that. Once a week. But that's not like a schedule for me. For me, I like to fucking pop it out. So then I kind of left it to like, hey, if there's something. So I've left it to, okay, if I have something to say, if I really have something to say, I'll do it. But then it doesn't happen often enough for my liking. So there needs to be some sort of like a pace for me. And I know that a lot of news, because I'm so used to doing it every day, but maybe it's like a lot of other, news people only do stuff during the week. Whereas like the real news, in my opinion, most of the real fucking news gets put out on Friday or Saturday because that's the real shit that they don't want you to see. So they put it out on the weekend so no one fucking sees it come Monday. So in my opinion, Friday and Saturday news is probably in many ways more important than during the week. But a lot of people only do Monday through Friday, which is, I don't know. It's so fucking weird. The Monday through Friday thing is so weird. Like things don't happen on Saturday and Sunday. I don't know. Most people like days off and shit, I suppose. Elijah, I did see that earlier. Your freezer full of grass-fed beef. Fuck yeah, dude. I did see it.
And that's the way, I like it. KC on the Sunshine Band.
Yeah, we need a sick human. Look, don't get me, Swole Justice Warrior, don't get me started on the cannibalism. I would not eat a grain-fed, beef-fed human. Everyone knows, don't start up the cannibal conversation because we'll start talking about beef. We'll start talking about eating man meat soon. Let's not go down the cannibal route conversation. That's a rabbit hole. We'll start talking about eating people. Like I said, I've been honest about this. Like if it was a healthy human, I would try it. Everyone's like, oh my God, I wouldn't. Why? I would try it. If I knew I wouldn't get sick, if I knew I wouldn't have any issues, and it was a grass-fed, beef-fed human. A grass-fed, beef-fed human, I always joke about it. But if I had a plate and someone's like, hey, I don't know, this person donated their healthy body and they just want to be like, you know what, eat me. And someone had it properly prepared, I don't know. Why not? Why not? Why not try it? Don't be a pussy. Fucking try it. It's America. We people here now.
Fuck yeah!
No one? No? All right. Is he joking? Is he joking? I can't tell. Can't tell if he's joking or not. Let's see. Muscles, I expect thank you cards for getting Papa to bring back RWS. Yo, don't think I don't. I think about all the other channels or anything that doesn't get updated regularly. Trust me, there's nothing that I'm aware of. There's nothing that I'm not aware of. So if there's something that's not getting updated regularly, it's just because it needs to be put on the back burner for now. And there's other things going on that are more important. But I always think about everything. I always think about certain things that aren't being updated, and it gnaws at me. So that's the thing with the podcast, Daily Swole. It's like, I want people coming here, you know, and I'm actually totally fine posting a Red, White, and Swole on the Daily Swole podcast page. But then it's like, do I really want to cross the streams? Just because I think some people want to keep some of that content. You know, I'm fine talking about some of the things here. We rant about all sorts of stuff. So I'm not going to keep them like separated on purpose. Like, no, I can't talk about anything political on the show. Like, I'll talk about what I want, wherever I want. But keeping it a little bit more separate and focused, I think is always a good idea. Callum, when doing a workout, for example, upper body push, how do you split your movements? For example, do you focus all on chest, then to shoulders, or is it best to mix it? It depends. For me, lately, I've been doing upper, lower. And on my upper days, I throw in some, like on a chest day, I'll do more. I might throw in some more anterior deltoid or, you know, lateral or, you know, middle deltoid. And on pull days, I'll usually throw in, and I'll do some biceps. I usually do an exercise of biceps and triceps on my upper body days, and I spread it out. So I do that more frequently. So like 3 or 4 days a week, I'll do biceps. I'm trying out different things. So I'm starting to tend to like to train my biceps and triceps more frequently, but less volume. So I'll do like 4 sets a few days a week. So I'll still do like my 16 sets or whatever it is over the course of a week, but I don't do as much volume. So I'm kind of doing like, if I'm doing upper body today, I'll do chest. I'll do more of a focus on chest. You know, I'll do maybe some, you know, one exercise for the front of my shoulder, because you're getting a lot from the pushing movements. So it depends. Sometimes I'll bias one way or the other, but I'll usually do arms a little bit more frequently, less volume on each day, but spread it out rather than have a separate arm day. Because one of the things is, you know, if I just do a separate arm day, then I'm not doing any kind of upper body for another couple days. Like I want to train more. I like to train more frequently now, just less volume when I train. The Declaration of Independence was signed on a Thursday. Make Thursdays the new Red, White, and Swole. Well, I think every day is Thursday. Pedro, I expect Obese to Beast making a video of you saying you went cannibal. I didn't go cannibal. I didn't go cannibal. I'm saying I would try quality. I would try well-sourced, grass-fed, beef-fed human. I would try a piece. I'm not saying I would eat a whole human. Come on now. Maybe the glute, like the movie Alive. Like I would eat an ass cheek. Depends on the person. I mean, I don't know. Look, we're having a conversation. We're having a conversation about eating people. I'm not saying I would. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying it's moral. Come on now. Don't tell me you wouldn't. Make sure you check out the channel. I'm not sure if we're doing more nuts on chin. We're just kind of like moving that kind of content to just more commentary on YouTube to post over on Rumble. So we're going to keep on doing content like that. Any new additions to the gym setup? I got my belt squat. My belt squat arm finally shipped. It was 2 months in the making, but I'm excited because the one that I have, I can only put on like 6 plates, 6 or 7 plates. I forget. But this new one I got has posts on the side, so I can put like probably 6 or 7 on each side. So belt squats are the fucking tits. The tits. Belt squats are one of the best things to do for your quads if you don't have like a machine, like a hack squat, something where you take out the upper body. It's awesome. What are your thoughts on cupping? I did it once or twice. Interesting. I don't know long term. I think it does bring blood to the surface. I mean, people say it's bullshit. I don't think it's bullshit. I think you're physically doing something. To what extent it's beneficial, I'm not sure. I think more, I mean, any kind of physical manipulation with the body can be good, getting fluids through or doing manual like Graston technique with like the tools and stuff, like the metal tools where you're scraping and shit like that to break up scar tissue. It could be beneficial. I didn't do it enough to really know long-term benefits. Wouldn't be my first ass cheek. Oh, come on now. All right, we'll think about it. I'll tell you what, we'll talk more about content. And of course, we got the accountability meeting tomorrow, so we can talk more about content. You want to talk more about Red, White, and Swole? You want to talk more about Eli? You want to talk more about other stuff? Make sure you drop where you want to see it or what you like to see more. Make sure you join the Telegram chat, and we can continue over there in the SwoleFam Telegram after the live stream right now if you want to chat a little bit more. But let's give away the Swole card because the sun is out, and I need to get some more on my nips. And we got some Swole privilege. Let's give this shit away. We got the accountability meeting tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time. Join the fam today. If you're not a fam member, don't be a fucking twat. Join the fam. Don't be a twat. Don't be a twat. Don't be a twat. Come on. Swole privilege. Swole privilege. As it should be. You know what? As it should be. Muscles marinara. Fucking congratulations. Oh, no, sorry. That wasn't supposed to be.
Congratulations!
Oh, shit. We'll play it. Congratulations. All right, you won. All right, I'll land on you. Okay, Swole privilege. Enough. Stop. 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 Fucking stop. All right. Congratulations. It works. It works. Congratulations. Muscles marinara. Swole privilege. All right. All right.
What the hell kind of country is this where I can only hate a man if he's white?
Don't hate. Stop it, Hank. All right, awesome man cast. I got some things to think about, some things to plan because you all are hungry for more man content. So you got it. All right, we'll talk more about this inside the Telegram chat. Thank you so much for being here. Let's nut this beach. Falcon. Oh, Muscles Marinara. Send us an email to support@swolenormous.com. Swole card 20 schwam, 23 in the subject, your mailing address in the bio, the email, and we will get you that fucking Swole card. It's super awesome. It's super awesome. Making sick beats. Yeah. All right. Come on, man. You come on.
What's your name, fat body?
We nailed it today.
All right, then leave!
You're leaving so soon?
The more you hate me, the more you will learn.
Look at her. She looks like she's 19 years old, sitting there like a little lady in a race car.
Gross.
As you can see, my nipples have been removed from my body. Where they are, I don't know.
I better use my strong hand.
Nailed it.
Hey, stop! Fucking people.
Emotional damage!
The attacks on me, quite frankly, are attacks on science.
You switch the samples.
Robasic. No one plays the drums like El Papa. Let's go, baby.
Hi, it's great. Could you milk me?
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Just smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
What are you looking at, butthead?
I'm your huckleberry. That's just my game.
Coming down to it. Ready for that purple? How's he playing that? How's he doing that? I watched him play the piano the entire time. How's he doing it? How's he doing it? It's with my dick. It's with my fucking dick. It's with my fucking
Some crazy
dick. It's that cock
sounds.
piano.
We're all stocked
Why
up
else are
here.
you here? You're here for the cock piano and you fucking know it. Thank you, fam, for being here. We'll see you tomorrow for the accountability meeting live at 12 noon Eastern time. Live call. Don't miss out on that. And of course, SwoleNormousX.com. But not only that, before you go, remember, check out the brand new apparel over at PapaSwolio.com. We got Captain Swolio is now available for purchase. Use code DailySwole for 10% off your order. If you're a member of the SwoleFam, you get 20% off. You got to log into your account and see your code right there on your home screen. Any questions, you can just send us a note and we'll help you navigate that. But make sure that if you're not officially a member, one, join the fucking SwoleFam now, but you can also be like, no, I don't want to. Fine. Use code DailySwole and you can still get 10% off. Check out the brand new Captain Swolio collection. Got all sorts of things from hats, mugs, shirts, all that shit like that. So go check it out. And of course, SwoleNormousX.com to join the fam today. We'll see you tomorrow for the accountability meeting and we'll head on over to the Telegram chat. We could talk more Red, White, and Swole. We could talk more about all the content and stuff like that. If you have anything else to add, maybe your favorite thing, what you want to see more of, why don't we do that right now? Head on into the SwoleFam Telegram chat right now. We'll sign off. Head on in there. I'll turn my phone on and you can say what content you like the most and what you want to see more of. And then we'll level up the game. We'll start popping out some more stuff and we'll start getting back into some of those things. Cause I said 2022 is a big year and we're going to be adding some more things back in now that we're on a really good flow again. So let's do that. So we'll see you in the Telegram chat. We'll talk more if you have anything else to say. And of course, tomorrow I'll see you in the accountability meeting. Peace, McGee's. Deuce Magoose, your boy, Papa Swolio. Oh.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808s, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock crashing. Like an IPO, trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they king left and they so mad, it's like
Then yeah, I found that young king with my crown at 10 racks in the fanny pack, couple hundred in the Louis bag.
That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint you. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant. On topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets and making new deposits. I'm in my element, no ollie.